This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce you to the incredible new License to Print Money by Rohan Beasley. I think you're going to absolutely love this new roulette system, and he's been winning with it consistently day in, day out in the casino, and I can't wait to share it with you. Today, we're going to test his incredible new system up against a 2 dozen system, and it's got a different progression than what you're probably used to. Let's go ahead and get started with that first, and I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. And we'll start with $10 on first and second 12. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, and here we go. That's a 0 to start. Not the best way, but that's okay. And we're going to increase from 10 to 20. So let's do that. You can see we're currently minus $20 after one spin. And here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, we won. And you see we're not in profit. So what we do is we increase again. Now we're going to be at 30 each on first and second 12. And the Holy Grail has a way where it increases after losses, but not after wins. This one today is also going to reset when it hits session profit, like we're up 30 right now. However, it's going to go up with wins and losses until that's achieved. So what that does is it keeps you from having to from getting behind basically in the progression. So now all of a sudden we're up 40. Let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. So if you have a lot of losses, sometimes it's hard to come back when you're only increasing after the loss if you're only going up 1 unit. And we're up $50 now. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And here we go. All right, that's a 5 red. Another win, we'll take it. We're up $60, and we'll rebet and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 31 black. That's a loss, so we'll increase. And remember, each time you have a loss, see where you were before. We were up 60, so we're going to go up, and we're going to keep going up on wins and losses until we achieve more than $60 profit. And that's a 34 red. We lost, so we continue to increase. Remember, we got to get back to 60, and right now we're back to even. So we need $60 of profit. Once we establish new session profit, we can restart over. And that's another loss, 25 red. Okay, so we're going to continue to increase. And what I was telling you earlier, and we're at minus 60 right now, is if you get a bunch of losses like we're having right now, only increasing after losses makes it a little bit harder to come back, but I'm going to share with you here. You see we're minus 20, so we're not at $60 profit, which would be new session profit. So we're going to be increasing after the wins also. So here we go. That's a 30 red, and we lost. So we continue to increase. Okay, so we're at 60 each. We're at minus 120, and here we go. That's a 23 red, that's a win. But again, we're not in session profit. As you see, we're minus 60, so we continue to increase. Now we're at 70 each, 140 total. And here we go. That's a good win on 8 black. Okay, so we're up $10, but not in session profit, so we continue to increase. And hopefully we'll get a win here, and we'll be able to restart back at base level. And I think we did. That's a 6 black. Fantastic. So now we're in new session profit at $90. So if we lose again, you need to always see where you were at so that you keep increasing after wins and losses until you achieve new session profit. So here we go again. We're back to the start. We're back at 10 and 10. And here we go. That's a 31 black, and that's a loss. So let's increase. So we'll go up 10 on each. Now we're at 20 on both and $40 total bet here. That's a win on 15 black. Okay, we're up 90, but we're not in new session profit. So we continue to increase. And here we go. That's a 23 red. Now we are in new session profit. You can see we're up $120. So we go back to 10 and 10. So the new session profit would need to be more than 120. Let's see what we got here. And there's a loss. So anytime again you have a loss, see how much you were up. We were up 120. Keep that in your mind. And that's the main thing you need to keep track of. And just keep increasing on wins and losses until you get to new session profit. That's a win on 1 red. But you see we're not in new session profit. We're even, so we continue to increase. And here we go. Let's see if we can get a win here. All right, that's a 20 black. That's new session profit. Now our new session profit level is at $150. So we go back to 10 and 10. And here we go. And again, what this does is if you have a bunch of losses, it keeps you in the game of recovery instead of getting way behind. We lost there. So again, anytime you lose, see what you were up. We were up 150. So we need 160 before, and we're going to increase here. And we need 160 before, that'd be new session profit before we can restart. And we'll increase on wins and losses until we get to that point. And there's another 0. Back-to-back double zeros. Man, that's not good. So we'll increase again. And we're going to do that on wins and losses. Because again, if you have a bunch of losses in a row, just increasing on losses doesn't get you back that fast. And that's a win there. We're up 120, but not in session profit. So we're going to increase and spin again here. And let's see what we get. Okay, we lost again. That's a 35 black, so we increase. Okay, you can see that put us at drop back to 40. Let's increase again and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 6 black. That's a win. See, we're not in session profit, so we increase again, even after wins, and let's go ahead and spin again here. That's a 20 black. That's a nice win. Okay, we're up 150. Still not in new session profit, so we increase again. And let's see if we can get a win here and establish that. But we lost. That's a 25 red. So we're going to go up again. That brought us back to $10 in profit temporarily. And we're going to increase to 80 and 80. And here we go. That's a 24 black. Glad it stayed off that 36 red next to it. And we're up 90. So we just rebet and we increase by 1 unit on wins and losses until we get that new session profit. And that's a win on 7 red. Okay, and we're up 180. That's new session profit. We restart. So there we go. You can see how much quicker that recovers than just increasing on losses. And that's a 14 red. It's another win. Now we're up $190. So we'll rebet and spin. And once we have another loss, we'll go into recovery mode. Okay, that's a 21 red. And we're up $200. Let's rebet and spin again here. And I can't wait to see how much this one makes in 15 minutes, as well as the incredible new system of the day from Rohan Beasley. And that'll be coming up. Don't miss out on that. We're up $210. And let's go ahead and spin again. Here we go. That's a 32 red. That's a loss. So again, anytime you lose, you see we were up 210. So we got to have 220 before we can reset. We increase and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 12 red. Okay, that's a win. We're at 210, but not in new session profit. So we increase again and spin. And here we go. That's a 25 red. That's a loss. So that dropped us temporarily down to 150 profit. We'll increase again and spin. And here we go again. Let's see if we can get a win here. But that's another loss, 31 black. And again, this is why we're increasing on wins and losses, is because if you get a bunch of losses, you can see it dropped us back to 70 profit, and we need 220. It's easier to recover if you increase on wins and losses, especially if you have a huge losing streak like we're having right now. We've lost 3 in a row, and you can see we're temporarily down $30, but let's keep increasing. And spin. And let's get it back. Here we go. That's a 7 red, so that's a win. Okay, you can see we're not in session profit. We're up 30, so we're just going to increase again. At 70 each, 140 total. And then coming up here, I'll be covering the bankroll and everything else you need to know with this one. But we just lost again. That's a 30 red. And let's go ahead and increase. Not there. There we go. Now we're at 80 each, 160 total, and we're at minus 110. So we're going to be patient now and use our bankroll, and we might as well go ahead and cover that bankroll now. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. You can also play this with a $200 bankroll and dollar units. So that's another loss. We're minus 270. We've lost on the 25, the 31, the 33, the 30, and the 34. So not very good luck, but again, this is why we're increasing on wins and losses, is because if you have a huge losing streak, it's really hard to get it back by going just up on losses. So that's another win there. We're at minus 180. We'll keep increasing. Okay, so now we're at 100 each, $200 total, and let's spin. And we lost again. So quite a losing streak we have going on here with 24 numbers. And that drops us back to minus 380 out of a $2,000 bankroll. We'll increase. And you can see we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the last 9 spins with over half the numbers, with 24 numbers covered. That is really, really bad. But that's why we have a bankroll. In case stuff like this happens, you have to be patient for it to come back your way. And that's a win there. So we're at minus 270. We'll increase again, because again, we're increasing on wins and losses until we get back to session profit. And that's a 21 red. Okay, at least we finally got a couple wins there. And we're at minus $150. We'll keep increasing. And you can see right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still have 5 of the last 9 that more losses than wins out of the last 9 numbers. So let's spin again here. But let's see if we can get another win here. And that's a 17 black. I like 17 black. Usually a lot of the systems really pay on 17 for some reason. We're at minus $20. We keep increasing. Okay, now we're at 140 each, 280 total. And let's spin. And that's a loss, 31 black. So we're going to have to increase again. And that drops us to minus $300. So let's go ahead and increase again here. And we're at 150 each, 300 total. And again, we would have a really tough time coming back if we were not increasing on every spin. That's a $150 win. We'll increase again. Now we're at 160, 320 total. And here we go. Let's bring it back. There we go. There's a 7 red. That's a good win. And we're up $10. Let's increase again. Now we're at 340 total bet, 170 on each. And let's get a good number here. Okay, good. That's a 24 black. Okay, we're up 180. We're within $40 of that new session profit, but we're going to keep increasing. And let's see if we can get ahead here. All right, we did it. That's a 17 black. Okay, now we can reset, and we're up $360. So back to 10 and 10. And let's go ahead and spin. And again, $2,000 bankroll for $10 units, $200 bankroll for dollar units, $1,000 bankroll for $5 units. And that's a win. We're up $370 now. And we've got a few minutes left here, but if you're playing in the casino, this is the time to cash out. And that's a 19 red. Okay, we're up 380. Let's try to get it to 400 profit. Here we go. Okay, that's a loss on 32 red. And again, anytime you get a loss, you see how much you were up. We were up 380. So we need to get to $390 before resetting. Profit, that is. And here we go. That's another loss, 36 red, back to back. So we'll increase again. And temporarily, that dropped us to 320. Again, we're trying to get to 390. All right, here we go. There we go. That's a good win on 14 red. Okay, we're up 350. We'll increase again. Now we're at 40 and 40, 80 total. And here we go. And that's a good win on 20 black. I also like that when I hit 20 black. That's usually a good jackpot number on some other systems. We're up 390 now, and that's what we needed to get to. So we can go back to 10 and 10. And let's try to get to $400 profit here in the last minute. And we did it. So fantastic. So after 15 minutes of play, we made $400 profit with one up on losses and wins. Once you have the initial loss, obviously if you win it on the first first spin, you just keep going at $10. You don't start increasing until you have a loss. And that worked out really well, and it recovered. And again, really hard to recover if you go on a massive losing streak like we did there, if you're just going up on losses. So let me know what you think of that down in the comments as usual. And now it's time for the incredible new roulette system of the day from Rohan Beasley. Let's jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for License to Print Money by Rohan Beasley. Let's place the bets and get started. And we're going to start by betting on everything except what hit last. So we're going to bet on second 12, third 12, and then first column, third column, and spin. And we're not always going to have 4 bets out there. I'll share with you how this works as we go through. That's a 16 red. That's a $10 win. And when we win, we just place the bets out again. But when we lose, we're going to do something totally different, and I'll share that with you here in a second. When we have a loss, we're going to bet on on first and third, and then on this one we'll be on second and third column. Again, we're not betting on what the last number represents, and here we go. That's a 00. That's not good, but that's okay. When that happens, you just double the bet if you hit 00. So let's go ahead and do that, and here we go again. That's a 24 black. Okay, that's a $10 loss. So when you have a $10 loss, you know at least you won one of these. So let's see what we won. And it looks like it was in the column. So it looks like it's third column. So what we do is we take that out, and you can see it had $10 on it. So what we do now is after we take that $10 out, we double the bet. Then we add the $10 that was on that third column that won. We add that back to the one that's left, and then we go ahead and spin, and here we go. Let's see what we get here. That's a 32 red. All right, that's an $80 win. I like that. We're up 60 bucks. So you can see we hit third 12, and we hit that second column there. And now we're going to go ahead and start over. So there's a lot more to this. Make sure you stick around, and we're going to be on first and second 12. And then we're also going to be on first and third column. Again, not betting on what the 32 red represents, the last number that hit. And here we go. That's a 23 red. Okay, we lost $5. So that means we won one of them. So let's see what we won. We won the second 12. We take that out. It has $5 on it. Then we double. And then we add the amount that was on the one we took off to the one that's left. And now we have a $35 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 20 black. And we lost both of them. When that happens, whether it's a 0 or not, you double the bet. So now we're at $70 total bet, and let's spin. That is an 8 black. And that's a $20 win there. We're up $40, and let's see what we won there. We won the first 12, and and once you win one that has a single dozen, even if it's not in session profit, you reset. So let's go ahead and do that. So once you win a single dozen, you're good. So we're going to be on second and third, and then we're also going to be on first and third column. Again, we're up $40. Let's go ahead and spin. And let's get some good wins here. And there's some huge jackpot potential with this, especially once the bets are removed. That's a 1 red. That's a $5 loss. So again, if you lose $5, you know you won something, and it looks like it's in the columns, and it is. It's first column. So we're going to take that out, double the bet, and then add what was on it to the one that's left, which was $5. That puts $15 now on the third column. And that's a 16 red. Okay, $5 loss there. So I think we won one of the dozens. We did. So we take out the one that won, and it had $10 on it. So we double the bet, and then we add that $10 to the one that's left. Okay, now we have a $60 total bet out there, and let's spin. And that's a 10 black. We lost both of them, so we double the bet, whether it's a 0 or just a total miss. We're currently at minus $30, and let's go ahead and spin. And that's a 5 red. We lost both of them again. So we will double the bet again. This is a $2,000 bankroll for $5 units, a $400 bankroll for dollar units. And let's go ahead and spin again here. All right, here we go. Let's see if our luck can turn around, and that's a 20 black. Man, we just keep hitting total losses, and we're minus 390. Let's double and spin, and here we go. Let's see, 35 black. Okay, we hit one of them there. That's a $240 win. Let's take that one off. And that was the third 12. So let's take it off. And let's go ahead and spin. Now we have, since we're not in session profit, and we leave that one up there that hasn't hit in a while, and it's a double zero. My goodness. Okay, and that's a loss. We're at minus 390. We're going to repeat that bet and spin. If we lose two of those in a row, we're going to need to double that bet. That's a 3 red. That's a $480 win. We're back up 90. Let's restart. So that was pretty scary there, but I think it'll go smoother this time around. Let's find out. So we'll be on first and second. Second and third 12, first and second column. $20 total bet to start again, and here we go. That's a 26 black. That's a $10 win. We're up 100, and we will now be on first and second 12, and we'll also be on first and third column. And with any of these systems, if you're watching this and you think there's a way to make it better, let everyone know in the comments. That's what the channel is all about, is trying to make these systems better. And if you see that maybe we hit a rough patch somewhere, go ahead and put it in the comments what you would do different. That's what is so amazing about this community, is that everyone is trying to help everybody else out and make the best roulette systems possible. And that's a 15 black, and I love that about this community. So that is a total loss. So we double and spin. Whether it's a 0 or anything else, a total loss doubles. And that's a 25 red. Okay, that's a $20 win there. We're up 110. Let's reset. And actually, I'm sorry. That one wasn't at base level, so we need to take one. We need to take one of those out. So actually, I'm sorry. We hit both of them though, so we do reset at that point. If you hit both of them, you don't want to go back to we're close enough to session profit. Let's go ahead and reset. I'll talk through that better here on the next one. We'll be on second and third column, first and second 12, and let's spin. But with any system, if you're resetting, it's definitely a safe. It's going to keep you safer the quicker you can reset. So if you're close to session profit, you want to do that. We're up $120. Looks like we'll be on first and third, and first and second column. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 12 red. Okay, that's a $5 loss. That means one of them won. Let's take the one that won out, the first 12. And then we'll double the bet. And then we'll add that to the third 12, the $5, and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 13 black. That's a $5 loss. So I think one of the other ones won. Let's see what happened. That's the first column one. So that had $10 on it. Then we'll double, and then we'll add that $10 to the one that's left over. And here we go. That's a 26 black. That's a $120 win. So now we're up $230. That's why it's so important never to push it if you're close to session profit, because you might see later on that it wasn't really necessary, because the worst thing that can happen is that you run out of your bankroll. Again, this is a $2,000 bankroll for $5 units and a $400 bankroll for dollar units. That's a 25, and that's a $5 loss. So that means we won one of them, which looks like it's in the columns, and it is. So that's first column. We'll take it out, double the bet, and then add what was on it to the other column. And let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 23 red. That's a $5 loss there. So that means one of the dozens won. So we'll take that out. It has $10 on it. Then we double, add that $10 to the one that's left, and now we have a $60 total bet. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. And that's a $120 win. Now we're up $340, and you can see the jackpot potential here. We just hit first 12 and third column on the same spin, so that's awesome. Okay, so we're up $340. We'll be on second and third, and then we'll be on, let's see, we'll be on first and second column. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. License to Print Money by Rohan Beasley. So far, so good. But as always, I welcome any adjustments that you guys think would make things better. We might as well give them a try, so put them out there. And let's go ahead and see what we won there. It had to have been in the column, so it looks like it's second column. So we'll take that out, double the bet, add the $5 back to the one that's left, and spin. And here we go. That's a 16 red. And that's a $40 win. We're up $375. We restart. So we'll be on first and third, and then we'll be on second and third column. Okay, let's start again and see if we can make some more money here with License to Print Money by Rohan Beasley. That's a 3 red. It's a $10 win. We're up $385. We'll be on second and third this time, and let's see, the 3 is in the third column, so we'll be on first and second. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 3 red. Total loss, so we double the bet. And spin with License to Print Money by Rohan Beasley. And here we go. That's a 12 red. We lost again, total loss. So we're going to double again to 80 and spin. Okay, that's a 21 red. That's a $20 loss. Let's see what we won. Looks like we won the second 12 there. Let's take it out. It had $20 on it. And then we'll double the bet. And then we'll add that $20 to the one bet that's left. Now we have a 140 total bet. Okay, that's a 24 black. Total loss. So we double the bet, and that drops us to $165 profit. So now we're at a 280 total bet, and let's see if we can get a high number here. Ooh, we did not. That's a 15 black, and we have another total loss. We're going to have to double again. So we've been doing pretty good, but now it's getting a little scary. We have a 560 bet out there, but almost all of our $2,000 bankroll yet, though. But we can't have too many more losses. Let's see if we can get a win here. Oh, a 00 is not the right time for that, because you see what's happening here. We only have we have enough left to double one more time, but this is it. Man, we need a win here badly. That 00 did not come at the right time. And here we go. That's a 12 red. Ouch. I think we just lost almost all of our bankroll. We can't even place our next bet. And we only have $205 left in the bankroll. So let's play this out like we had a higher bankroll just to see what happens. But it looks like we would lose our $2,000 bankroll. So we'll go ahead and double it one more time and see what happens here. That's a 14 red. That's a $320 loss. So again, if you were going to do that and keep going, even though we ran out of bankroll, you would take out the one that hit the 14, which has $640 on it. Wow. And then you would double that, and you'd add $640 to the one that's left. Obviously, we ran out of our bankroll, though. Okay, and then you would bet from there. But obviously, you could do this with smaller units, with dollar units. And there's a 29 black. Okay, and there's a $1,820 win. But we still are at minus 295. So even after that, we didn't hit both of them. So if you wanted to, you could take off the third 12 that just hit at that point, and only have one column left out there. But that would be pretty risky to go with just one column to try to recover. And let's see what we have on that. Yeah, we have way too much on that one. So usually when you get a win, you don't have to go to a single column like that. But you know, we've gone well past the progression on this one, just trying to see what would happen if you went past it. But we, unfortunately, it did really well, and then we did lose our $2,000 bankroll there. So Rohan, thank you for sending this one in, and it did really well for a while. And let me know what you guys think would make this system better. As always, everyone in this community always has some great ideas on how to make systems better. But again, this could be one that you just play for a short period and cash out as well. There's a lot of those out there, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you want to send a system in, you send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. We do this every single day of the week, 365 days of the year, in the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And if you're enjoying that search with me, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.